3.7 is coming up fast, and we might already know the characters Kuro is preparing to reveal.
What did he say?
The 3.7 drip marketing is just days away, the new beta is right around the corner, and we're also getting closer to the next live stream and the second half of version 3.6. But the biggest question right now is, who exactly are we getting in version 3.7? Because at the moment, there are two major characters being looked at for the upcoming update, Fox Lady and Swaming. And depending on how Kuro handles the banners, we could see some pretty interesting changes to the upcoming release schedule. So today we're going over the time frames you should keep an eye on about when the 3.7 drip marketing and beta could happen, and everything we currently know about the potential 3.7 characters. And before we get right into it, make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned because I might have another giveaway coming up real soon. And with that said, let's get straight into it. First, let's talk about the 3.7 drip marketing. If we look at how Kuro has handled previous versions, the drip marketing usually happens shortly after a new update goes live. Generally, we're looking at around 5 to 6 days after the release of a new version before we get the characters for the following patch officially revealed. And this has been pretty consistent throughout the year so far. We've seen the same general pattern with the 3.5 drip marketing and the patches before that, so we're not really outside of the usual schedule here. This version 3.6 has now started, with Qingshao's banner releasing on August 20th. We should be getting the 3.7 characters revealed soon. Based on that usual timing, we could potentially see the drip marketing somewhere between August 25th to August 27th. That means the earliest possibility would be Tuesday, when we could finally get the 3.7 characters fully revealed. Of course, none of those exact dates are officially confirmed, so keep that in mind. But whenever the reveal does happen, I'll be covering it on here on the channel as quickly as possible. So make sure you got notifications turned on if you don't want to miss it. Now, after the drip marketing, we also have the 3.7 beta to look forward to. Based on what we've seen, the earliest possibility for the beta will be around the end of next week, although once again this is not officially confirmed. So that's basically the immediate timeline we're looking at. But there are also a few other important dates coming up over the next several weeks, so let's go through that as well. First, we have the next Wuthering Waves reset, which should be happening in around 8 days. And after that, we have the next reset for Tower of Adversity, which will be happening a little later and will take us into September-ish. And then on September 10th, we'll be entering the second phase of version 3.6. That's when Jingran and the rerun banners will be coming in. We should also be getting the 3.7 live stream sometime in September, with the live stream expected to take place at least 1 week before the current patch comes to an end. And finally, version 3.7 should officially begin around September 29th, since that's when the current 3.6 version update is expected to end. So those are basically the major dates we're looking at for the rest of this month and moving into September. Now, with the timeline out of the way, let's talk about the part that I'm sure most of you are actually interested in. Which character are we getting in 3.7? Right now, we don't have that many characters left from the previous drip marketing information, and the two main possibilities we're looking at are Fox Lady and Swaming. So there are essentially two possibilities here. Either both characters could be revealed for the upcoming 3.7 update, or, and this is what I personally think is more likely, Kuro could split the two characters across different versions. In that case, one will release in 3.7 while the other will be pushed back to 3.8. And if that happens, this would mean that we are probably done with the double new 5-star banner situation until the 4.0 update, unless Kuro decides to introduce another surprise 5-star character that wasn't originally part of the 3.7 drip marketing. As things currently stand, the roadmap has Fox Lady positioned as the new 5-star character for version 3.7, with Swaming potentially appearing in the second phase. However, there's still a possibility that Swaming could be moved to 3.8 instead. So with all that in mind, let's actually break down what we currently know about these characters and what their potential kits could look like. Starting with Fox Lady, we actually have a bit of information about her already. Recently, we've also got some interesting gameplay description, kit information, so there's more to talk about than just the basic character details. For starters, Fox Lady is expected to be an Electro character who uses a Rectifier, and she's expected to fill the role of a main DPS in version 3.7. So if you've been waiting for another Electro main DPS, Fox Lady could potentially be a very interesting character to look out for. But what makes her particularly interesting is the way her gameplay is supposed to be structured. According to the information we currently have, Fox Lady is expected to have two different forms. She has her normal form and her sentinel form, and both forms are set to have their own enhanced states. And on top of that, each form is expected to have its own moveset. And that's not even the most interesting part. She's also reportedly going to have two different liberations, one associated with each form. Current information suggests that her liberation may be connected to switching between these two forms. So potentially you would use her liberation while in her normal form to enter the sentinel form, and then you use the other liberation while in Sentinel form to return to her normal form. Kinda like all the characters we've been getting actually. Obviously, we'll need to see the official kit to know exactly how the system works, but that's the general idea based on the information we currently have. We also have information pointing towards coordinated attacks, as well as something called Electro Flare. There's also mention of a new Tune Break archetype, although the exact details of this mechanic works are still something we'll need to wait for. So we're gonna need the official kit before we can really understand how all of these mechanics fit together. As for her overall gameplay style, her description points towards a higher mobility, large area of effects attack, and a strong burst damage, along with good synergy with Electro-related teams. So overall, Fox Lady is shaping up to be a very interesting character. Right now, she's the character most strongly expected to appear in the 3.7 banner, although we still need the official reveal to confirm everything. And then we have our second potential character. The other character we're keeping an eye on is Swaming, which could potentially arrive somewhere between version 3.7 and 3.8. Compared to Fox Lady, we currently have considerably less information about Swaming, but from what we do know, she appears to be much more focused on echoes and supporting echo skill damage. She's expected to use a sword and is rumored to be Electro as well. Her main role is also expected to be more of a first slot support character rather than a traditional main DPS, and her biggest strength appears to be supporting teams that focus heavily on echo skill damage. So rather than being another character that simply comes in and deals a ton of personal damage, Swaming seems to be designed around enabling the rest of the team. We definitely have much less information about her compared to Fox Lady, but even from what we currently know, she already looks pretty interesting. And if her drip marketing does get confirmed this week, we should finally get official information about her element, weapon, and role very soon. So thankfully, we shouldn't have to wait too much longer before some of these questions are answered. For now though, Fox Lady is currently positioned as the main 3.7 character, with Swaming potentially being the second character revealed or potentially being pushed back to 3.8. And there's actually one more character worth mentioning. We've also previously talked about another character called Lily. She's currently expected to release sometime before we reach the end of this part of the roadmap, meaning somewhere between 3.7 and 3.8. However, we don't have information right now to say exactly when she will fit. So for Lily, we're simply gonna have to wait and see how Kuro decides to handle the upcoming releases. And that's basically everything we currently have regarding the 3.7 banner. So we're getting extremely close to the 3.7 drip marketing, and I'm sure we're gonna get a pretty big reveal once it finally happens. The exact timing isn't officially confirmed yet, but based on the usual schedule, we shouldn't have to wait much longer. Once the drip marketing drops, I'll be here to cover it as soon as possible, and I'll also break down everything we learned about the characters and their kits. So if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notification. And that's all we currently have for version 3.7. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.